There. Okay. So our first question from the audience, we will start with Debbie. You'll have 2 minutes to answer, and then we'll do Barbara, Sheryl, Terry, our normal order. What are good ways for Denton ISD to save money with no new state money since 2019?
Well, the best way I've always felt to save money is to, one of our founding fathers used to say, a penny saved is a penny earned. And so saving money, not spending money, is a way to save money. And so I feel that there are probably many ways that we can save money that have been overlooked, perhaps. We need to stop investing in medical clinics. Like I said earlier, we aren't the health department. We have a health department, and they're doing a great job. We have clinics all over Denton that can service Medicaid patients on a walk-in basis, so there was no need to install a clinic in our schools. We can build more modest, conservative buildings instead of elaborate buildings and stadiums. I've heard parents that have complained about the money that is poured into stadiums and to schools, and they feel that we could do better. So I just think that there are ways that we can look into our budget, and instead of spending extra money on these things, cut back and conserve. And once we get our budget in order, I would like to look into devising a system that we can pour that money back into our teachers and create bonuses and extra pay raises for our excellent teachers to encourage excellence in our teaching staff.
Thank you. Barbara, you have 1 minute. What are good ways for Denton ISD to save money with no new state money since 2019?
One of the best things a trustee can do is actually not to micromanage. We have professionals in our every department, and they come up with creative, wonderful ideas that they present to us. For example, at last night's board meeting, a plan was presented for a lunch program that would impact some of our lowest campuses, where parents and the children would not have to pay for lunch or breakfast, and the entire campus would be allowed to have free and reduced lunch, which would save the families over $700 a year, and it would help our district as well. The insurance that we implemented, we got out of the state insurance because it was so costly. And again, we had a creative expert who came up with a way that we use the funds that we have that are marked for insurance that have made it better for our employees and more cost effective. So those are just a couple of ways that, and we have 2 different budgets.
Thank you. That's your time. Back around, Sheryl. What are good ways for Denton ISD to save money with no new state money since 2019?
Remember when I talked about funding transparency? Stadiums and schools are different funding sources than our regular budget. M&O, maintenance and operation, that's our budget that we run and have our teacher salaries and all those things come out of. Capital improvements, those come out of a different fund, so you can't mix that funding. It'd be nice to take bond money, but you can't use salaries with bond money. So that's another thing in teaching funding. We've already, like Barbara said, we're looking at everything. If there's people who leave the district that we don't have to replace them, then we're doing more with less, and so until we get that funding.
Thank you. And Terry, you'll wrap us up on this one. What are good ways for Denton ISD to save money with no new state money since 2019?
I think first we need to take a clear and concise look at the current budget. Where do our priorities lie in terms of the goals that the board has set to be achieved? I know there is no new money, but let's think about other ways that might be resolved. For instance, we are overloaded with administrators. Some of that money could be used to compensate teachers. We could remove Chromebooks. You can go back to regular books that could be used for that purpose as well. Students spend too much time online. It is a detriment to brain development. And so it's necessary to look closely and make wise changes. Thank you.